Booze it or lose it, drive sober or get pulled over. I'm sure that every one of you have heard one of these catchy little phrases that the Tennessee Highway Safety Office or National Highway Traffic Safety Administration uses for their safe campaigns. These campaigns are used to educate drivers on the importance of not driving while impaired by drugs or alcohol. According to TIBERS, or Tennessee Incident-Based Reporting System data for 2017, there were 20,165 arrests for driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Of those arrests, 111 were juveniles. It's crazy to think that that's 2 arrests every hour for an entire year. Just think if there were that many people that were arrested for it, how many people did it and got away with it? Per TN.gov, a first-time DUI offender with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or higher can be required to spend 48 hours, or from 48 hours to 11 months and 29 days in jail. If their blood alcohol content is 0.20 or higher, they are required to spend a minimum of 7 consecutive days in jail. Their license can be revoked for 1 year. A judge can require them to complete drug or alcohol treatment programs. If they are involved in an accident where there was property damage or injuries, they can be required to pay restitution to the victim or victims. They can have fines from $350 all the way up to $1,000. They can be required to have an interlock device, which is a device you have to breathe into before your car will start, installed in your vehicle, and that's at your expense, and those are very expensive. TN.gov also estimated a first-time DUI offender, with the cost of everything that they have to pay for, with towing, bail money, attorney fees, high-risk insurance, court costs, schools, reinstatement fees for their driver's license, it could add up to an average of $4,900 for a DUI first offense. Now keep in mind that's first offense. If you have consecutive offenses, jail time, fines, all of that goes up from there. Per Titan, which is Tennessee's Integrated Traffic Analysis Network data for 2017, there were 212 accidents that involved fatalities where a driver or drivers were impaired by drugs or alcohol. I work for a local police department. I've been there going on 10 years, and part of my job is to assist the officers in compiling their case files. That can be case files for them to take to court in order to prosecute, or that can be case files compiled for a district attorney to have so that they can prosecute the case. In doing that, I've seen lots of good, bad, and ugly. Some of the bad and the ugly that I've seen involved fatal accidents where drivers were impaired. We had a horrible week when I first started at the police department. We had 3 fatalities in a matter of 2 days. One of the fatalities was an 18 or 19-year-old boy. He had just left church. He and a bunch of his buddies and family were going to Cracker Barrel to eat dinner. On his way there, he was hit and killed instantly by someone who was under the influence of alcohol. The bad part is his brother and sister-in-law and best friends were behind him. They ran to his aid, so they got to see all of the horribleness that this DUI crash caused. I wish that people, the general public, could see that, because I think if they could see that, it would change their mind on actually driving while under the influence. The very next day, we had another fatality. 2 young kids drinking and driving, both of them were killed. Now their family has to live with that. So I challenge you, the next time that you decide to have a drink, or next time you decide to try drugs, remember some of these things that I've talked about, and don't drink and drive. Don't do alcohol, or don't do drugs and drive.